darlings, this is Miss Aphrodite Darling here today featuring laryngitis, but I still wanted to get a video out for you. Today we're going to be having a Grace Kelly makeup tutorial inspired by the icon Grace Kelly. As you can see, I have her hair and makeup. If you'd like to see her hair tutorial, leave that in the comments below, and if you want to see how I got this look, keep watching. So we're going to start by priming our eyelids. I have this Maybelline eye primer, but you can use whatever one you want. Just going to put that generously on our lid and rub it in. We are just using this to make sure that our eyeshadow doesn't move anywhere or crease or look weird. So just keep rubbing it in until it's kind of tacky and you are good to go. Now we're going to take our eyeliner and we're going to line our eyes. We want to be using a brown. Black is pretty harsh and usually Grace had more of a natural look. I'm just putting that all along my top lash line. As you can see, it's looking pretty rough, but that's okay. We're going to be blending it out with the eyeshadow. So if it's not a perfect line, don't worry. Now let's do our other eye. So now we're going to take it on the bottom lash line and just do a little bit, about halfway in on both sides. We don't want it to be too crazy, but we want to give some definition. Now, to blend it out, we're going to take an eyeshadow. I use this palette and I use this matte light brown shade. That's the kind of shade that you're going to want because she didn't have any shimmer. We're going to take an eyeshadow brush, dip it right in, and we are going to blend that out. As you can see, there is some fallout, random patches falling onto my cheeks, but that's why I do my eyes first, so I can brush that out. So we don't want any harsh lines, we want it to be very smooth, and oh yes, that blend though. But we're going to have to dip in and out a few times between this shade and then our next shade, which is going to be this nude one. But it usually takes me a couple times back and forth between those colors before it's smooth enough to how I like it. So I'm just dabbing it on. I don't want to remove the brown, but I don't want it to be that weird creased kind of look that you're seeing right now. So we're just going to blend that right out. And lovely. So if you have any fallout, just dust that right off. That's why we do it first. Now time for foundation. We're going to take this liquid foundation and a beauty blender. You want it to be light coverage and you don't want there to be too much of it because otherwise you're going to look cakey, and that is not how Grace Kelly had her makeup. It was a very natural, dewy finish. So we're going to take our beauty blender and just tap it, the sides, the bottom and top of your face, and just start buffing it in with light little taps all over. Make sure that you get down on your neck and on your lips. If you really want to go above and beyond to look like Grace, you're just going to want to get a huge cystic blemish on your forehead, and then you're going to pick at it so that it's really red and really inflamed and really ratchet. Oh wait, okay, no, that's not Grace. That's if you want to look like me. If you want to look like me, you can do that. Never mind. So keep blending. Looking good, girl. Looking good. You might have to buff for a while, but that's okay. As long as you're looking dewy and beautiful at the end. Time to conceal. I have Juvia's Place concealer, my favorite. And we're just going to get a tiny bit of it, put it right under the eyes. I'm prone to having bags under my eyes. I know lots of you are. Take the pointy end of your beauty blender and smooth it right out. You can rub a little bit, but make sure that you're patting it in buffing, making sure everything's smooth and very natural looking. Looking good. Make sure not to rub off the eyeliner that you have on your lower lash line. You can use it to cover some blemishes if you have any. Now to really look like Grace, we are going to take 2 blush brushes and 2 blushes. You're going to need one that's darker and one that's lighter. This is something she used to do to contour her face. She'd use 2 different shades of blush. So we're going to take the darker shade, take one of your brushes, and we are going to dust that so nicely along our cheekbones, kind of like you would with the bronzer and contouring. Just pat it in. Oh, beautiful. You can see my cheekbones coming out. They are not here to play today. Nice. And suddenly, I have a beautiful defined face. Now you're going to take your lighter color, your other brush, dab it in there, and you are going to blend this one right on the apple of your cheek and just kind of blend it up above. So that's exactly what Grace used to do, and so we're going to follow her own beauty tips. Very nice. Now, if you're like me, you might be looking a little clowny, so just get a little bit more foundation and pat it in to kind of conceal if you feel like you look a little crazy. And you don't want to look crazy or clowny. So just like the eyeshadow, sometimes it's a bit of a game, a back and forth between your pigment of your blush and then you look like you have a fever. So now we're going to go to the other side and we're going to play that same back and forth, just making sure that you have the right amount of contour and pigment without looking insane. Blending that out. Very nice. Eyebrow time. So I use eyeshadow on my eyebrows. I use this dark shade in the same eyeshadow palette. Make sure that it's matte and have it be a few shades darker than your hair color. So mine is a dark brown, but if you're blonde, I would not recommend this. I like to take an angled brush, very nice, and just kind of draw them on. I like eyeshadow, especially for a vintage look, because you can get it drawn on how you want, but it's not going to be such a defined, sharp line like if you were using a brow pomade. So get that nice arch. Very beautiful. And now the other one. Remember, they are sisters, not twins. And even if they're twins, they're more fraternal twins. You want to get that nice arch, not too thick, but not too thin either. Very nice, very nice. Now we're ready to set our face. So take your favorite translucent setting powder, dab that in there, and buff all over your face. This sets the makeup so it won't be able to move. It doesn't add any pigment, but it does add staying powder, and it will be able to blend everything together for that flawless, air-dusted, vintage look. Make sure that you're getting on your neck and on your lips because this will help your lipstick to stay. Very, very good. I have my Agent Carter powder, but you can use whatever. So now it's time for lipstick. I use American Beauty from Besame, but any pinky red shade will work. I'm just applying that, staying on the lip line, and of course you want to enhance your natural shape, but don't go too crazy, because otherwise you're not going to look good. You're going to look very modern and not too cute. Now we're going to blot it. We don't want too crazy or matte of a color. Just blot that a little bit to get off the excess. Now time for a gloss. Laryngitis, always. Get our gloss, mine is from Tarte, and smooth that on over the lipstick. I love Grace's glossy lips, so we're going to emulate that look. Apply all over, plus this helps a lot with the comfort of lipstick, I find. Ooh, flawless. Lovely. And smooth your hair if you must. Check them out, make sure the lines are even, blow a few kisses, and we're good for the next. And that is eyelashes. Now we want it to look natural. We don't want them to be huge and fluffy because that won't look like Grace. We want them to be relatively natural but still big. And put them on and you are all good to go. I'm excited. Now you are the beautiful Princess Grace that you've always wanted to be. Just an up close look. As I said earlier, if you're interested in the hair tutorial, just let me know in the comments and I will film that next week. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment. Even check out my blog and I'll see you next week.